Superman and Lois TV Talk. This is our episode 4, Season 2, Episode 4, The Inverse Method. My name is Robin.
And my name is Derek.
And my name is Frank.
Is that how he sounds?
What do you mean how he sounds? That was him.
Oh, hi Frank. Sorry, there must have been some connection.
Hey guys!
I tell you, it's not sounding great tonight. Frank's not with us. We're another man down. But that's fine, because we're here. And that's all right. We will do our best to carry on in his absence as we walk you through a delayed episode for, as Robin said, the Superman and Lois episode, The Inverse Method. 4th episode of the season. And we've been off a few weeks, basically because we're just huge Olympics fans. If you're not following Star Wars House of Olympics, head on over there. It's just shoo is what that one's called.
Lots of curling.
Yeah,
lots of curling.
Huge fans of curling. So if the show's off for the Olympics, so are we. No, actually, we just haven't all had a chance to sit down to record together, and obviously still have not all had a chance to sit down and record together. But Frank said go on in his absence. So
go on in my absence.
That's not. I think you need to workshop it a little bit.
All right.
Just try it. At least you admit that that's an impression now. A poor one at that, but an impression nonetheless.
I thought it was dead on, but whatever.
Well, can I be frank?
It
wasn't. That's called a layered joke. All right.
And we know you believe in layers, Derek.
Yes. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Well, tell us about this episode, Robin.
Well, this one had Superman in it.
Did it?
It had Lois Lane. No.
Unlike those last few episodes of Boba Fett, this one featured the characters.
Imagine if this cut away for like 2 episodes of just Plastic Man.
It's just Kyle. It's Kyle for 2 episody's, and everybody's like, what? I mean, I like Kyle. I'm not against it,
sure.
But why are we doing a Kyle plot all of a sudden?
Just everything's completely subtitled. It's interesting. It's interesting. But who knows? Maybe we'll have some sort of Kyle subplot coming in the future, because by the end of this episode, things seem to be a little up in the air for old Kyle and where he's headed. But we'll get to that. This episode is directed by Melissa Hickey, whose last credit I think was Ozark. She doesn't have too many directorial credits, but Ozark was a big one. And it's also written by...
For an effects-heavy episode, a great job.
Yeah. This is written by Jai Jamison and Andrew Wong. We got all sorts of things that happened in this episode. Some of the major things that happened were, we got Lois and Beppo infiltrating the Inverse Society. So, what exactly is the Inverse Method? Is it just die and then arrive at a different place?
It's actually, it hasn't been touched on much in the show, but Richard Simmons actually invented the Inverse Method. Sweating to the Inverse, I believe, for the tapes.
Yeah. I'm actually inverse right now.
Well, let's not.
Well, if I concentrate hard enough.
What? That doesn't make any sense. That's not even remotely right.
We have the return of Lucy Lane.
Yay! A very different Lucy Lane than you than you remember from the CBS days of Supergirl.
Well, refresh us, Derek, because I don't remember. Do you remember how Lucy Lane was in like season 1 of Supergirl?
Not like that. I mean, but previously on Supergirl, if you're just joining us, Lucy Lane was in the military alongside her father. She had previously dated James Jimmy Olsen, and that kind of started up again. She was one carryover, I'll say, is she was not kind in talking about her sister. I don't think that's necessarily.
Well, that does carry over, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a carryover, because it's a very different scenario. But the quote unquote blanket of crisis, as we have discussed here on the show before, is
it's a snuggly blanket.
Yeah, it has changed her up a good bit. That gave her longer hair, if nothing else. But she is.
Well, people change, people grow.
People do change. I mean, it's been a long time since. Well, not mine or Frank's. Yours is looking. Yours is looking lovely, on the other hand, though.
Oh, that's just called not taking care of yourself.
Ah, well, you know what? I didn't do that either, and I lost all mine. So
this is my Yahoo Serious look.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Lycos. It's a deep cut. So we do get introduced to her. We've been talking about her since it's the second episode. There was no real mention of her previously on Superman and Lois, but yeah, we do get that introduction here to what she's been up to and kind of the fallout she has had with Lois. Still at least talks to her dad, but we find out that she kind of blames Lois for basically everything that's gone wrong, which I hate seeing how terrible they treat her in that regard. But you know, it's very much a you were so bitter towards Mom leaving that it pushed her away even further. It pushed Lucy toward the inverse society,
yes,
as it were, in this cult regime. We do get it referred to as a cult, in this episode finally. So yeah, a very different take on the character, and it was hard seeing her and her sister at outs, because usually in live action, which not too many instances of that. Of course, the 84 Supergirl movie, there's no interaction between Lucy and Lois, but Lucy is in that film. The Lois and Clark, the early seasons of The New Adventures of Superman, or early season rather, I guess, featured in that. Was a weird kind of dichotomy on Smallville. She was kind of fending for herself on that show. Was on the run, got into a little bit of trouble, but not near. Right. But was still always happy to see her sister and everything. So when it comes to this, it's a different, very different interpretation of the character.
Right. Yeah. I always thought of her as more of a perkier, peppier kind of person, and obviously, if you basically cut yourself off from society after trying to kill yourself for this Allie Alston person, I suppose this is a little harder edged Lucy Lane.
Yeah. And Alston, I of course, there was a long period of time where I did not read comics, read them a lot as a kid, got older. And we're pretty good about Googling everybody, or at least you are, and totally missed that this was an iteration of Parasite at one time, which I just did not catch at all. That one totally flew under my radar.
This version of Parasite actually had like a brother. It was Alexandra and Alexander Alston, and they were like parasites. And this is back in... I saw it was 2004 in the Adventures of Superman comics.
Yeah, that was way after my high school days, and was not reading that much at that time.
Oh yeah, well I was in junior high then, but I was
2004.
More like oh yeah,
you've aged tremendously.
Well, it's just hair. It's just hair.
Oh. Rub it in. You keep going back to the hair. I don't have a hang up about it, but geez, come on, man. You're low-hanging fruit at this point.
But yeah, she's either going to be a cult member or a country singer, because she says she lost her job, lost her fiance, lost her mom. She's got a big old void inside of her. But yeah, we get a little bit of a flashback. I was a little confused. Okay. So it basically the flashback is like a bookend, and it's like, here's a part of the story, and then later on in the episode, towards the end of the episode, we see a little bit more of that flashback, and it's
back to Metropolis days. It's pre-Superman and Lois, obviously. We're That's their assume their brownstone back in Metropolis that she's staying with them at.
Yeah.
That
Lucy's been staying in Mr.
in the boys' room. Yeah.
Oh. And but I wasn't sure what I was supposed to. In this episode, Allie makes Beppo lose her mind, and then makes it so perhaps we're supposed to think that Lois did something wrong in this.
Yeah.
And yet I'm not quite grasping what it is. Did you understand?
Overall, or
like, what is happening?
As it comes to this, or as it pertains to their past
flashback
narrative?
Like they brought the flashback, and it's just like, what more was I supposed to learn here?
Well, I don't think. I think it was just the early stages of the whole Alston fiasco, and Lois trying to bring her in to their household and kind of keep her on the straight and narrow. Other than going off book completely and joining this cult. And I think that, I think it was more in her face that Lucy's constantly looking for something that she doesn't have. And feels like it was being flung in her face, which I don't agree with, of being there in the perfect quote unquote Kent Lane household rather. And not, not having the perfect husband or the perfect kids and the perfect like that. And her still just seeking to fill this void in her life. And Allie, like any good cult leader, says that they can fill that void. They can give you what you've been searching for. And
right.
I think that's essentially what that was aiming for. And it does, I think it kind of, I assumed that was their last interaction until they meet up there at the hotel, Holiday Inn, whatever that was. But right. I that was my interpretation, that they didn't see each other. And I don't know how long that's been, at least a year, seemingly longer. I don't think we ever got a real timestamp on when this story ran about the cult. Did we? I can't remember if there was with the byline on the original story, if there was a date or anything. So I don't know how long in universe this has actually been since Lois wrote this and this podcast has started coming back out and everything.
Well, the flashback was 5 years ago. That's as much as we know.
Does it show that? I forgot that.
Yeah,
okay.
It said 5 years ago.
So it's been a minute. So she's been wrapped up in this thing for half a decade now. Lucy has. So and people who are in a cult for a year, you see how that it can affect people. So 5 years, she's totally bought in hook, line, and sinker to this entire thing. So that's most of what I got out of it, though, is it was just as Lois was trying to bring her into the household and kind of quote unquote maybe mother her a little bit, that she just resisted it all the more and kind of flung herself into the Inverse Society's arms. Overall, I feel like I understand. I don't want to say I understand where Lucy's coming from because cult, but I appreciate kind of the inner workings of what she said, the whole setup and everything. Obviously, didn't like. I don't overall like how Lois is being treated as a result of this whole cult storyline, because she didn't do anything wrong. Even the big reveal, I was like, she didn't do anything wrong. And then Chrissy just turning on her, basically, felt even more disconnect to me, because where does Chrissy Beppo get off? Excuse me. I don't want to get on a high horse, but I'm just like, I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, I watched this versus the Chrissy I watched in season 1, who was just falling all over Lois Lane and following her around even in those first couple episodes. And, when they were at that town hall meeting about Morgan Edge, and that was like the second episode, I think, in Heritage, or maybe the third one. And, it was just this woman is God's gift to journalism, and she's right here in my backyard, and oh my God, she's not at the planet anymore, and she's here. And it was like the first thing came along, and she was like, well, I hate her. And it's like, well, she kept all this from me. And, she was I don't know. I was extremely. I got increasingly annoyed with Beppo throughout the entire episode, right up to the very last shot or the last sequence, because it's just. I mean, you're not even going to give Lois a chance to explain herself again. Not that I feel like Lois needed to explain herself at all, because the source that was close to her was Lucy. She disclosed that in the story, and there was Lucy made an attempt on her life, which is the truth.
Right.
And somebody else has died as a result of this cult. So why, you didn't print the part where you left out, where I ascended and all this other stuff. It's like, what was there to write? You tried to commit suicide. Like, which is not a laughing matter in the least. But you really, like, that was the big, and then Chrissy, like, buys into this completely. It's like, you didn't talk about that part of it. When were you going to tell me? And I don't know. The whole thing
sister,
felt
like, lost
what
her
was
mind.
I supposed to tell you? I printed the facts. I left out a part that she believes is a fact, but is not a fact. I mean, that's not journalism. So I don't know. The whole thing. I'm extremely interested in this whole cult thing altogether because of the greater ramifications I feel like it may have with Bizarro and everything else we kind of talked about in the last episode and what we're going to dive more into in this one. But I don't appreciate how I don't like this whole podcast attacking an unethical journalism thing. Like, I feel like somebody needs to be more in Lois's camp or something, because it's just, I don't know. It feels icky to me that we're, shouting fake news and all this stuff. I don't know. I talked to a friend that felt the exact same way, or had sent over some thoughts, and it was just very much felt like kind of quote unquote Trump's America kind of a portrayal of this, and I'm like, I agree wholeheartedly, but I think that Lois needs a win this season is the bottom line, in my opinion. Lois, I mean, we're 4 episodes in, and I feel like they have kicked her while she is down over and over since Natalie showed up at the end of season 1.
All of a sudden we find out her mom left when they were young. And then Lucy, Chrissy,
her at odds with Clark. I mean, it's been one thing after another. So I feel like and then, having to deal not only with kind of the disconnect she and Clark had there throughout the premiere, but also having to deal with, Clark having these painful visions, seeing what Bizarro sees, and everything, and not being able to help him. I mean, there's just a lot on her, and I don't feel like the show's doing her any favors.
I don't think they're done yet either, because what they're hinting at is that, there's the whole truth about Lois that has yet to be revealed. Like, Beppo is upset at her for not telling her the whole truth. And of course, I refuse to discuss it any further, basically. Don't talk to me for the rest of our ride back. Yeah. I'm not going to hear your point of view. And then this whole thing where in the closing flashback, Lucy's like, not even you can stop the truth from coming out. And then Chrissy calls Allie at the end of the episode and says, I want you to tell me the truth about Lois. Yeah. So I feel like there's another rung on this.
And do we need that? I don't know. It's just... I mean, your show's called Superman and Lois. Give her the same, give her the same push that you give Clark and Superman. I feel like they've really done her a disservice. I'm not saying it's bad television. I understand. I understand drama, and I understand screenwriting, and I understand your character arcs and what you're going for. But there better be a superb win for her coming soon, even if it's just punching Allie in the face. I don't care, but I need a win for Miss Lane,
right?
And I need a win for Clark too, because he's obviously having a lot of issues as well.
Can I point out a couple of things before we move on?
Absolutely.
A little bit of trivia, well, not even trivia, just tidbits. In the flashback, obviously Lucy seems to be staying in one of the boys' rooms.
Yeah.
And there's a Superman figure that's on the headboard. Mm-hmm. There's a poster on the wall of the Andromeda Galaxy
Yeah.
And I was like, could that be? And I looked it up, like, yep, Krypton is in the Andromeda Galaxy.
One of the 28 known galaxies? Yeah, absolutely. Wonder if it's one of the... Was it one of those... I didn't pause to look. I saw it, but was it one of those same figures from the premiere? I'm sure it probably was.
I was wondering, but it looked more like a traditional, like,
an actual,
Superman.
like, merch thing.
Yeah.
Goes well with my... I got eradicated, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
I need that T-shirt.
Soon to be available at... No, I'm just kidding.
The podcast that Lucy guested on, did you see the episode title? From the Other Lane. I like a good...
Yeah, you like a good pun, don't you?
Mm-hmm. 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 What do you think about Beppo and Blonde?
Yep. I don't know if you're trying hard to go to show to. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Every time I'm like, really? Are we doing this even more? Are we steering into the skid a little further?
I was like, we were just getting off. We were like, oh yeah, Parasite. Okay, now it all makes sense.
Yeah,
and
we're
then,
getting.
what?
And then you took us back around on the other side.
Yeah, they're trying to invert us.
And they did say parasite in this episode too. Lois refers to Allie as a parasite, which hit us over the head with it like you did Doomsday.
And Bizarro.
I just feel really dumb for not catching the parasite reference at all. Like it just wasn't even on the radar for me.
I feel like I want to delete the episode.
But well, it's not even that. We talked about in the first one. It's like they do this all the time. They give us a nugget of something we're familiar with, and then they put their special sauce on it. Mm-hmm. And that's just how Helbing and Co. have kind of approached this whole series, which I like because it's not like, oh, okay, they're doing the death of Superman. Oh, okay, they're doing X, Y, Z. They're giving you something you're familiar with and turning it on its head, which I'm cool with. I don't know that this actually is going to lead to a parasite reveal. The other thing with that, and the same thing with Bizarro, we've already had Parasite and Bizarro on Supergirl.
Right.
So I don't know what. I told you, and I've read it in a couple of places now, and I think Reddit's a big fan of this theory. I am not a fan of it, that the true self, quote unquote, your inverse version, your finding your true self, is the pre-crisis version of yourself. So in this instance, it would be their Earth 38 original counterpart. I don't hate that idea. I don't think they would ever... Here, watch me eat my words. I don't think they'd ever do that because they have distanced themselves from Crisis so much that you would literally be diving headfirst into it like Scrooge McDuck into a fountain of pennies or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't really see that happening, but it's an interesting idea that's the separation, is what is Crisis, breaking you from a version of yourself, and this is fine. Other thing too, and I guess this will tie into Bizarro. How did we not think about the fact that whatever Clark sees is what Bizarro sees? That was genius. I don't know why I didn't even think of that when we were in the previous episodes.
Yeah. Did we ever get any flashes from Bizarro's point of view until this
Yeah,
episode?
until this episode, and that's when I was like, "That's cool." Like, like Clark's seeing whatever Bizarro sees, but Bizarro's seeing Lois and the boys and the farm and whatever.
I want pancakes.
Yeah, me want pancakes too. Solomon Grundy want pants too. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and I was annoyed with myself. I was like, that seems like an easy guess. Why didn't I catch that?
The other thing that I do think is connecting Allie Alston and Bizarro is the fact that, we think of her as like an actual human parasite, a person that, she's just using her congregants to gain, more status as a leader or whatever,
sure,
a spiritual leader. But Did you notice Bizarro's necklace this week?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It seems to be drawing energy from Clark when they get close. There was some streams of smoke coming from it and stuff.
It's kind of like a demigod kind of situation. They're when they get together, there's like a magnetization. I mean, there's something going on that when they're compromised around each other. I hate to borrow from a terrible movie, but it made me think of Hancock with Will Smith. Because wasn't it he and God, who was the female lead? Wasn't Taya Leone? Was it Charlize Theron?
I think it was. I haven't seen that since it came out.
Anyway, it ended up she was married to Bateman, but they were actually like both demigods.
Oh, that's right.
And they couldn't be around each other. You know, it was that kind of. So I don't know. There's something. There's going to be some cool reveal here at some point to what all this means, but in the meantime, we're just kind of out in the wind trying to figure out what it is.
Well, when we first see Bizarro in this episode, he is trying to destroy that necklace.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to, it's the connection between them, that necklace, and he seems to know a little bit more about it.
And you see what he's using?
Yes. His heat breath.
His heat breath. So I'm ready to see some cold vision.
Yeah.
That needs to hurry up happen, because it is kind of, that's always been kind of the Bizarro thing. Yeah, he can still fly, still has the strength of anything, but he's got, whereas Clark has heat vision, he's got cold vision. Whereas Clark has cold breath, he's got heat breath. So
yet he can fly.
Yeah,
like shouldn't he be like really heavy?
It's just he just goes into the ground every time he does. It just digs him deeper into the ground. It's not a very helpful. He also didn't speak in this episode, so there was nothing for us to run back. There was just noises and grunts.
Yeah, and
and the score running backward. How about that? That was cool.
So
that was really cool. Yeah, after your great idea of playing the audio backward, I was like, all right, going to be down for it this week. Going to load it into the old timeline, and it didn't happen. Okay, never mind. We won't do it.
Yep.
You win some, you lose some.
They're like, they're onto us.
They know.
But yeah, Clark and Bizarro end up having two fights, and one of them ends up causing the death of two of the, pretty huge characters on the show. I mean, they were wearing Superman shields, so I assume they were pretty important.
Even though we didn't... Did the credits reveal names?
No.
Okay.
No. It was funny. The girl stepped up and said, "We are the Supermen of America." I'm like,
I told you.
Super people, right? Yeah. Another interesting fact about that, like when the episode starts and he's out in that white area, I'm like, oh, this must be like outside the fortress. This must be like the North Pole or Antarctica.
No, he's in the Salt Lands. We're at where was he? It's in
Salar de Uyuni.
I forget where that is.
Bolivia.
Yeah, Bolivia. Okay, yeah. So he's in the, the reflective. Salt flats, whatever you call them.
Well, I looked up. I was like, "Oh, why is this Salar de Uyuni a big thing? And is there something to do with? Is it like frozen there or something?" But no, it's actually it's the largest salt flat in the world.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's really it's a big like destination point.
Oh, okay.
South America, yeah.
And you said reflective. I looked up some facts about it, and it says at times the salt flat is covered in very clear water, making it the largest natural mirror in the world. Which I'm like, that is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Great place to go. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Obviously, didn't go film there, being in South America. They created their own. But yeah, no, I had that same thought of now why he was there. I don't know if there's a reason for that or if it was just its own little thing. But he went back there
He did, yeah.
Obviously, too, twice. So I don't know if that's, maybe
what's drawing him there.
Well, he called the fortress home. So you would think ice or cold would be, I don't know. We still haven't gotten an answer to that, of why he was drawn to the fortress. So I don't know. If on his cubed Earth he had his own fortress, and it being similar to Clark's, but obviously he was far away from that in South America.
Yeah, and the amulet actually ends up with Tag at the end of this episode, so it's probably back with Anderson, by the end, and that's interesting too.
Who doesn't seem happy? I think it was in the trailer for the next episode. It was like, "Why didn't you tell us we were fighting you?"
Right.
Like, yeah, I told you not to fight anybody, you jackass.
Yeah.
Why'd you send people to begin with? Yeah.
Yep. And the other thing that happens as a result of this is poor John Henry Irons. There's some stuff, leading up to this about like how much should he be a part of this? He can't help. And even like we had some good John and Clark time on the porch there before Bizarro showed up.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like, Clark was just like, "Hey, I'm sorry for being here, or, for you being a part of this or whatever." And he looked like he was getting a little sad, and he was almost saying like, "Oh, if Nat's happy," that kind of thing. But perhaps this is leading to something like, yeah, he's definitely going to be retiring after this if he recovers,
Yeah. The fight sequence at the farm was phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Both fight sequences were really good, but that fight scene at the farm was fantastic. I did not see that coming with John at the end. That threw me for a loop, made me very sad.
The brain injury?
With just everything. Him getting flung that just him getting attacked and trying to help, and obviously
that hammer's gone too, right?
That hammer is gone. that thing is gone. If you notice though, so the helmet, the face is gone, and the chest is gone.
Oh wow!
Really easy to put an S shield on that mother now. With that, when I noticed that, I was like, and to change up the face to not look so much like Master Chief.
Anyway, the spoiler section should be a good place to visit us,
absolutely.
This week.
Absolutely.
So Tag is the only Superman of America left, unless they have a whole dorm just waiting. Bunch of kids like training and doing pull-ups and stuff. And
all right, 1 and 2 are out. 1 and 2 are out. 4, 5, you're up.
Yeah. So
like a big sleepaway camp.
Now there's a movie.
Yeah.
How about Kyle and Mayor Dean getting into it a little bit? Mayor Dean seemed like he was going to be playing a little dirty politics, bringing Sarah's good name into it.
Fake Sullivan needs to be taken down a peg. I want to see him get punched. I don't think Lois is going to be the one to do it, but I really want to. I don't know. I feel like everybody on this show needs a win in one way or the other. I know Kyle and Lana are responsible for, inadvertently, but still responsible for the way things shook out with Edge and in town, and for everything this show does to kind of kick Lois while it's down, it also kind of makes us feel sorry for Lana at every turn. Mm-hmm. And there are 2 major female protagonists on the show. So, and then the reveal with Kyle at the end kind of made that even worse for Lana.
Is it a reveal? Is it something going like I'm on the fence of whether or not this is like something up, like up Kyle's sleeve. He realizes this is where Dean's getting the information from. And, because maybe he was just...
Well, I don't know. I took
his mouth off now and then.
I took it as him trying to get ahead of secrets.
Yeah.
And making sure that when people do go start poking around, that they don't, do anything to make matters worse. Obviously, him giving up drinking, he hasn't been at the bar in a while, and he hasn't been at the bar in a while, he hasn't seen the bartender in a while. So,
right.
That's what I got out of it. You took something else?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he is going to play little, fake news games with Dean, like perhaps plant something that is going to end up messing with the. I don't know. I was just like, oh no! When they put the shot in front of him, I was very worried.
I assumed he was going to turn that away.
Yeah.
I didn't like, obviously, another, again, I want to put a disclaimer out there. There's no joking matter about suicide or taking your life or harming self-harm in any kind of way. You're talking about that in the cult, but also, the fact that they have to... I didn't even think at the beginning of the episode when they were at Victoria's and somebody said they were, that they were asking about Sarah. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that storyline from the first part of season 1.
Right.
So that didn't even enter in my head. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a thing that happens. So that's money in the jar for Dean if he can horribly. I mean, political tactics aside, that's just awful. That's not a Hunter Biden's laptop kind of thing. That's just, that's gross. To go after a kid like that on multiple levels,
and they were drawing the writers were drawing like parallels too. Like they called both Lucy's suicide attempt as well as Sarah's as an incident. Like both that word got used for both of them, and I wasn't sure if that was. Meant to happen or what?
I don't know. I don't know either. But I thought the same thing.
Is Sarah going to get pulled into this somehow?
I don't think so. I would hope not.
I'd hope not.
Yeah.
But who knows what can happen on this show?
Yeah, I try not to place too many bets because they tend to be wrong. But
oh no, I love theorizing.
We've had a few pan out, but some of them took longer to get there than others.
Yeah. For instance, did you know that if you make pancakes, Sophie will show up on the show?
That's apparently the only thing that conjures her up is pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes.
Yeah. Talking about her doesn't do it. You can talk about her all day long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's at grandma's.
I'm waiting for her bizarro self to show up and finally get some answers on what's going on there.
Oh, boy. But, oh, yeah. It's funny. I'm watching the episode with all the Nat and Clark interactions, especially when Clark comes like walking into the bar and like looks right at Nat and is like, "Hey," like friendly. But then
we've only had 3 lines of dialogue with each other, but that's fine.
Yeah. But finally, at the end of this episode, there is some sort of tension between Nat and Clark. Finally, which I just feel like is going to bring out some other stuff, but of course.
She is not happy with him. I was vocal on not liking the dynamic of bringing her in, or how I didn't, more than anything, I didn't feel that was fair to our title characters by bringing her in, because I felt like it was angst for the sake of angst. However, to the show's credit, by the end of the first episode, they had really kind of put a bow on that. Now, I feel like there will be further angst, obviously now. There being some as a result of this horrific accident to John, but that's kind of a new dynamic into the whole already awkward scenario. So the fact that they kind of tied everything up, I was like, okay, I'm not as miffed about it as I was. Not even miffed, but it didn't sit well with me. It just kind of made me feel icky after the finale, and then tying it up like that. So, but I get Natalie, regardless of how I feel about the interaction and bringing her to Earth Prime. I fully understand her not jiving with Clark. Knowing, I mean, she watched live on television him kill her mother.
Yeah.
I mean, that you logic can only go so far into turning your brain off that that's not the man that did that.
Right.
Especially when you're seeing them right there together and married. It's just a difficult thing to process. So there's angst already, built up in her resentment toward, I fully believe, not that we've really seen it on the show, because again, they've had 2-3 lines together tops.
Yeah.
So I, I completely bought in there in the hospital room how just done she was with him and how angry she was with him as a result. So
it was a quick turn too, because it was just like the very last episode. It was just like, and of course I'm going to help you. We'll build up the barn as a new shop, and and then the very next episode, nope.
Get out of my life.
Well, we should definitely talk about Jonathan getting a little taste of that yellow mist.
This little mellow yellow moment. What do you think about the effect wise of once he finally took it on the field and kind of getting everything all at once?
Yeah,
I'll put money in the jar. It felt like old home week to me a little bit. Like there was not in the execution so much, but just kind of the aesthetic of it. I was like, yeah, that feels very familiar and nostalgic to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, they should have played some like Good Charlotte in the background or something instead of
what is this, Lifehouse? These kids have never even heard of Lifehouse.
Yeah, and I got to say, Jonathan, not very subtle about taking that yellow mist right on the field in front of everybody.
I mean, I guess it kind of looked like a asthma inhaler, a little, yeah. But I was like, really? You're not going to go? Back in my day, we'd go hide behind the bleachers for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Are you
doing
vaping?
It there in the open? Yeah, seriously.
I believe, was it Nat? She was like, are you smoking pot, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Do you smoke a lot of weed?
Yeah.
How about Jonathan's Bat Country moment?
We can't stay here.
We got to get out of here.
We got to get out of here. I don't... Jonathan, you're smarter than this. It annoys me.
Yeah.
You're such a smarter character than this. I don't care how desperate you're getting. But I get it. I get it, obviously. And your brother being having all the wealth of powers basically, and having really come into his own with them over the course of 6 months. I mean, what do you say we are from the pilot? 6 months?
Oh, from the pilot.
It's a 3-month break. I'd say majority of season 1 took place over like a 3-month period.
Yeah.
If that even, maybe a month. I mean, Jordan's done well honing his abilities in since that time period.
Right. Speaking of, Jordan is possibly going to be getting a little training in the future from Grandpa Sam. By the way, the bit continued this week.
It did. We got another one. I'm loving
bit going.
This. Keep it going every week. Put him in another spot.
Yeah. I want to see him like poolside. I want to see him like getting an ice cream cone. Maybe at like a bar chatting up some lady. Like, I've never done this before. Oh, I got a phone call.
It just pans down. It pans down. He's at the same bar as Kyle. Oh, hello there.
Yep. So I love this. It was like Frank's got the jar, but this was like a little mini Smallville episode in here where Jordan and Sarah go to this convenience store, and Jordan decides to foil a crime by using his freeze breath to trip these guys up, and then finds out it's on camera. That would have been an entire episode. There.
That was it. That was at least the A plot.
Yeah, so, Lex hears about something happening at this where he's trying to get a hold of the tape. You know, there's a little bit of drama with Lana on the side.
The days of you coming in this Quickie Mart unannounced are over.
Yeah, new location, by the way. I wonder if that was one of the buildings we saw being built, or
I don't know. We did notice they were adding on to several things. I guess maybe to have some kind of turnover.
It does say grand opening on the front of the store.
Oh, did it? I didn't catch that. Odd that somewhere was having a grand opening in Smallville, where in season 1 we were dead and dying.
Britt and Dunn, whoever those people are, just knew where the money was at.
Yeah.
They moved their franchise into the Smallville.
I know what this town needs: convenience.
And that almost ties into Jonathan's plot line too. And I have a feeling that Jordan is going to finally get some knowledge of what's going on with Jonathan maybe next week, because Denise, the girl that's working there, is a former cheerleader. I totally forgot that Sarah was on the cheer squad last year.
Yeah.
But then she's like, yeah, I left the squad because the other girls are acting strange now that Candace is captain.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, is Candace going to be like a little mini big bad?
The Candace?
Candace.
You remember Candace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, not to speak ill of your brother's girlfriend or anything. To which Jordan says, like, he never had the best, done the best taste of picking out women or anything like that. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Hateful.
Well, last year he was dating Kara's mom, right?
Yeah.
We'll just keep that going.
So nice. So yeah, but this moment where the two idiots are trying to steal beer in the back of or was it not even beer?
It's poetry. It rhymes. Again, this is the other parallel I found. The incident parallel. And okay, that's a word. Okay, whatever. But it is talking about a suicide event, attempted suicide event. These guys are trying to steal tequila. And what's Kyle's favorite drink that Mayor Dean talks about later, and then he gets poured a shot of? Tequila.
What?
So tequila is on...
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, so to that end, I didn't catch that it was tequila, but Sarah runs out after him and is holding the bottle. And I thought instantly, I was like, oh, somebody's going to see her on the street running out of there with alcohol, and this is going to tie back into Dean's kind of quest for dirt on the Cushings, but that didn't end up happening, which I'm glad. But yeah, that's what I expected to happen in that moment, because she chases off after him with the bottle in hand.
But I got a little my respect for Britt and Dunn, the owners of that Quick Mart, lowered a little bit, because not only do they employ a minor, which fine, but they sell tequila in that convenience store.
What mini mart's selling tequila?
It allows a minor to be selling tequila across the counter.
And I need to go back and watch, but were they not pulling it from a refrigerated door? What place sells
tequila?
Refrigerated tequila.
I wonder if they were stealing tequila mix and they just had no idea.
We're gonna get so messed up, dude.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, all out of the Boone's farm, eh? All right, well, let's go with the tequila mix.
And yeah, I stuck Britt and Dunn into the search engine, and just nothing. I was like, this has got to be. Why is it Britt and Dunn's Quick Mart?
I'm sure our writers duo had something that was something for one of them.
Yeah.
I know whenever I write stuff, I've got my grandfather's name is always on storefront or something. It's always
But
that's
yeah,
always that's the Kelvin for J.J. Abrams kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that yellow mist is spreading through Smallville. I mean, that meth problem we heard about when the Superman and Lois first was announced, that seemed to fade away. But yeah, seems to be a thread that we're picking up. All these different kids have already tried. One got super strength, one got super hearing, and now it's like the cheerleaders are all taking it.
It's going to be a formidable. The whole town's going to rise up against Bizarro. It's just the whole town's going to fight back.
Yeah, right? Like, no. Is this... Are we going to give all the townspeople of Smallville superpowers again this year?
Well, I do. In that thinking, it's like, you all got pissed about Edge last season. Of course, your bodies were being taken over. That's a totally different scenario. But you're good with the stuff that was enabling this to happen. You're good with huffing it. You damn kids with your MTV and your TikToks and your...
Keep going.
I don't know. What do kids like these days? Pissing me off? That's what you like.
I just thought, had a flash of like...
Kids don't watch MTV anymore, do they?
Like a zombie Bizarro cheerleader squad chasing Jordan and Sarah.
I saw that was in season 4, right? I saw that episode. Was that Facade or Devoted? I can't remember.
Yeah, right. So it looks like, Sam tells them to watch your surroundings. And then at the end of the episode, it looks like Sam's going to train him in secret. So this is, what do you think about this? Is this something that perhaps is kind of drumming up for a little drama on the show, or is this,
absolutely. Because Clark's going to be furious when he finds out. Lois, both of them, they're going to be absolutely livid when this comes to light.
I was just thinking, what is Sam thinking?
Yeah, because I don't think Sam likes the idea of, well, maybe he does, because he had a hand in Tag being brought into the fold last season. So I don't know. That's your grandson. I'm like, really? You're comfortable with this? But I think he knows that Clark is. We should also mention, obviously, he was the one who erased the tape for Jordan on the convenience store footage. That's what Jordan calls him in a panic, and he's golfing, and it's like, I'm playing the best game of my life until you called. Screwed up my birdie. So Jordan's standpoint, or at least thought process, is Dad's not. I mean, this guy's killed 2 people already, and John Henry's been maimed basically, and Clark can't fight him on his own. So if the time comes, he's still kind of pumped up about being able to land some punches on Edge.
That's what I was thinking. Oh man, he actually faced off against Edge a couple times now, and he's thinking, all right, I really need to get my act together, my super act together.
But this is, for all of that, and again, Talrow had been here presumably the same amount of time as Clark, if not a little bit longer. Had honed his abilities, but this is the inverse of Clark. Bizarro is. I mean, it is blow for blow, pound for pound, him fighting a version of himself. So it's, that's always in media and entertainment's, very cosmically, I can't think of the words I'm trying to think of, which is great for a podcaster, but they're formidable. They're so formidable. It's not Rocky versus Drago. It's a whole nother level. It's Clark versus Clark, essentially.
Right.
So whether it's a Bizarro version of himself or not, it's that the punch that he lands is going to be the same punch that he lands. So I get Jordan wanting to help, but we've kind of. And don't get me started on the fact that Jordan has had all these moments with grandparents that Jonathan hasn't even had. I know I talked about that in the beginning. I hate that Jonathan's not even been to the fortress.
Right.
So, but Jordan really wants to help, but Clark's not even really working with him anymore. So what is Grandpa going to do when he doesn't even have the military really at his disposal? I'm interested to see what this training montage, what this training between the two is going to be.
I feel like it's going to be a little familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably right.
Yeah. John Schneider calls
No.
during the while he's in the golf course, and I got some pointers for you. Here's what I did.
Wreck as many trucks as possible. Just all the trucks.
Yeah. I think that's all I really had for this episode. Oh yeah, the bartender, her character's name is Tanya Martinez, and there was a President Martinez on Smallville. I don't know if they're calling back to that.
I don't think so.
Is she going to be president? But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing where this all goes. I think there's a lot of stuff we know that might contribute to the conversation in the spoiler section. But good episode.
I did notice that the extended cuts are back. Are we doing that again? I don't know what in this episode was the extended version. Okay, I need to check.
I only see the extended.
Okay, well, I'm going
Apple.
through your notes here. I don't
Apple.
remember. No, I do remember that. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look and see what the extended moment for this scene, for this episode would have been. Yeah, so more or less, please treat Lois better, and please punch Allie soon.
Yes, please.
Would be my takeaway.
Lois doing that would be great.
What do you think? I need this whole Chrissy thing wrapped up. It really annoys me that Chrissy's not more trusting of Lois after everything. I mean, Lois is literally bought in as a partner to the Gazette at this point. Like, I think a little more understanding needs to. And I also didn't. Yeah, you mentioned the whole we're going to drive home and not talk about this. Sorry, Lois Lane is going to talk about this. Whether you want to talk about it or not, you can jump out of the car while we're going down the road at 50 miles an hour from New Carthage. I'm going to talk about this because I am innocent here. She has done nothing wrong. She has done everything right as it regards this, unless they come and throw us some curveball now where it's like, oh, she was lying. No, because Lucy pretty much backs her up with the alarm clock camera or whatever it was. That pissed me off, that whole thing.
This is why we need to have Lucy back for at least one more episode to have Lucy be good again on the show.
I'm sure they'll have a redemption. I believe that will happen. It's getting toward that, but I really there's so much mystery behind this whole inverse thing and how this ties into Bizarro, because we do still think that that Allie was the one on the phone, from the mines, and she's still pulling the strings and still somehow, in the shadows of all this, or it's just some weird parallelism with Bizarro, but I feel like there's way too much going on between the two to not have some connection. But it may just be smoke and mirrors to throw us off at the same time. I don't think so. Yeah. Levels, onions, layers. So all of the above. I'll be interested to see. Of course, we did, once this episode ended, there was the hiatus for Olympics. We're coming to the close of the Olympics coming up this weekend, I think. And we're back on
I only watched the part where Superman blew out the torch. That's all the Olympics I caught.
Yeah. We're back on the 22nd.
It's actually weird these days.
It's really weird. The suit's a little darker, too. I don't know if you've noticed. Does that count? Does that money in the jar? But we are back. It's a Superman reference. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're back next week. We're back next week with Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. Actually, I think there are
love you so much.
I think there are ellipses in the episode title too, as a matter of fact, if I am not mistaken. So
yeah.
What did I miss? I talk too much. I always talk too much.
No. I'm just thinking we probably shouldn't talk anymore about the next episode until
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're worried about spoilers, there's a big one. Of course, it's a big one that got dropped this week, and also I've seen it everywhere, which really kind of irritates me for a person that might not want to know.
The pictures we talked about?
Pretty big surprise coming. Yeah. So.
And they're just filming that, so it's way down the line.
yeah.
That's probably, I don't know what you think.
They don't film these like week to week.
I would be willing to bet that's in the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to mention.
We're a while off.
Exactly, because
we were there. That's right. We were there as this episode was being filmed. We were in Vancouver.
So, yeah, I believe that if you saw the football practice, there was a little bit of rain off and on during it. And, that was when we were there. And when we talked to Jordan, he mentioned that he was filming some football things. And I think, did he mention that was the 4th episode? Or
yeah, he did. He did.
I
remember as you were watching, you texted me like, that rain looks super familiar. And I was like, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Rain
is familiar.
We were in that rain a lot up there in North Hollywood. So, yeah, that was pretty neat because I do remember him saying they were on that episode. Too bad we didn't see Tyler and Mr. Parks at the farm. Tyler and Mr. Parks at the farm filming that sequence while we were there. But yeah, that was
what a cool shot though. Like when I saw that in the trailer, the whole from behind.
Oh, it's a tattered cave.
Ragged. Oh
yes.
God, I want that framed.
Yes.
And John and Clark just looking from the porch. I thought that was a pretty great shot.
Oh, that reverse score. I hope that's on the season 2 score track. I'll make my own if I have to, but.
Hey, have you tried playing the score the right way? Do that now. Good.
Okay. Good. Picture Fred Tornado here. All right. Where can they find us, Robin?
They can find us on the web at supermantvtalk.com. You guys can email us your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. supermantvtalk@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, Superman TV Talk, at Superman TV Talk. On Instagram, Starkville House of L. And, of course, subscribe to us on your favorite podcatcher. We'd really appreciate, wherever you are, if you can give us a little rating, little review. Really appreciate it. And, of course, we want to shout out to the great Craig. Always putting out he put out the new season 2 cast photos just recently. Today I saw a post about that. So if you want to see some new photos of the cast, you can find that it's over on Krypton's site. You can check out Krypton's site, K-Site TV, and of course his Twitter for Superman and Lois exclusively is at Superman Lois TV.
All right. And yes.
We're
always,
sorry.
I was going to say we'll be back after the music to discuss spoilers, but we're also
always around.
So we'll never get it right. Bye, everybody.
Bye from Frank.
We're back to discuss spoilers for the 5th episode of the season. Girl, you'll be a woman. Soon. The Sarah-centric episode, we assume.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be just Sarah. It should have been called quinceanera.
Oh my gosh! Just read the official description, then we'll talk about the trailer.
Because it's the 5th episode, and everybody knows that quince means 5.
You're terrible. Read the description.
Lana, Kyle, and Sarah prepare for Sarah's quinceanera, but things don't end up going as smoothly as they had hoped. Period. Clark finds himself struggling with feelings of guilt about what happened to John Irons, and Lois worries she might have been wrong about Allie. Meanwhile, Jonathan learns that retired General Samuel Lane is planning to train Jordan. Lastly, Chrissy goes searching for the truth about Lois.
Now, what would make Lois think that she was wrong about Allie? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't understand where we're going with this. And again, the truth about Lois. What's the truth about Lois? I don't know.
That she likes avocado toast. I'm not really sure.
Really is going to bring down Allie.
We've heard something big is going to happen at Sarah's ceremony. What do you think? I don't know if that's the Kent Farm barn we're at. I'm not entirely sure, but what do you think? I figure one of two things: A, Bizarro shows up. That's no bueno. Or B,
Bizarro 15-2. Wear a party hat.
It's Bizarro's bar mitzvah. That's a big bizarre
mitzvah.
Bizarre
Thank
mitzvah.
you.
Thank you, Robin. Good job. Have a feeling that bit's going to come back later. So Bizarro
Good night, everybody.
man now.
Yeah.
So Rukata.
Play that backwards.
I can't. Yeah, exactly. Terrible. We should workshop these jokes. Beforehand. Or it's got something to do with Mayor Dean, and that whole scenario, and obviously in the trailer, if you've watched the trailer, we played the audio at the beginning of this. Kyle tells Clark exactly what he says, but
I made a huge mistake, and my family is going to pay for it. Now he's telling Clark that mean that something happened with that bartender.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We also see the funeral for the two fallen Supermen of America who Bizarro killed that are getting a military-style funeral with Superman as Superman, Clark as Superman in attendance.
Clark is going to deal with a lot of guilt, as Clark does with most Superman properties. Clark is always very guilty because he feels responsible for the world.
Well, I get feeling guilty over Irons, but I'm sorry, Anderson. I told you not to send these kids into battle, and you did, and you see what happens. At least Tag lived. Hopefully we'll get to see Tag some in this episode. We do see Clark has another painful vision in this episode as well. And he does tell Lois, they're talking about mirror dimensions, and he says, do you think this is the shadow version of myself?
I didn't catch that. Wow.
Referring to Bizarro, at the beginning. And she says something to the effect of all this talk about mirror dimensions, and Clark says, what do you think this guy's the shadow version of myself? We also see Jordan does learn that Grandpa Lane is training or Jonathan, excuse me, sees that
Jordan the actor found out that Jordan is being trained.
It still gets confusing to me. Jonathan learns that Sam is training Jordan, and it looks like he's going to get a few blows in himself. There's a punch happens.
I was surprised
in the barn, or down in the not even in the barn, but down in where the ship's being held.
So you think that's as a result of? I'm sorry, I didn't watch the trailer with you. Is that a result of Jordan finding out about? Wait, no, Jonathan finding out about Jordan. I thought it was a result of maybe Jordan confronting Jonathan about the yellow mist. Maybe
it may very well be, but since they're outside the barn, and I think Sam is in one of the shots too. in the barn. I just assumed Jonathan lands a punch, which may lead to the discovery of Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, because it makes him bleed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jordan flies back. I mean, he gets one on him.
Yeah.
So that may very well be how the discovery that he's been huffing XK. I don't know. And then finally, Anderson tells, like we talked about in the episode, Anderson says, "Why didn't you tell us we were fighting you?" And Clark says, "We're on the same side," referring to him and Anderson. And Anderson's like, "Every day I believe that a little bit less. Like every day you're a little bit more of a prick, Anderson." Superman Lois, Season 2, Episode 5, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. I can't do it without singing it. Soon. Is airing on Tuesday, February 22nd.
Superman.
And then we also have the official description for Episode 6, Tried and True. Amy Jo Johnson, known to some of you as the Pink Power Ranger, will be directing this episode. Lois tells Clark that she and Chrissy plan to do a deeper dive into the Inverse Society. I hope that means that Chrissy has come to her senses by this point.
Seriously.
And that she's off her
The truth crusade. About Lois is you're wrong, Beppo.
The truth is you're being a dick and you need to be nice to your friend and trust her. Plan to do a deeper dive into the Inverse Society, and Lana and Sarah try to comfort each other after the fallout at Sarah's quinceanera. So
that makes me think that Kyle is the problem.
Happens. I mean, that would lead you to believe that maybe Dean. You think that he shows up, or one of his cronies shows up and like wrecks the whole thing, like outs Kyle in front of everybody? That's rough. Way to ruin that for Sarah.
Really? At my kid's birthday party? Really?
And then I forgot we had the episode description that we could harken back to just a minute ago where we were talking about whether or not we were going to figure out that Jordan was going to figure out that Jonathan was doing XK or not. But in this episode, meanwhile, quote, Jordan notices something suspicious in Jonathan's book bag. Book bag? When did we stop calling them backpacks? That's around the time of MTV. Yeah, I got my Trapper Keeper and
got my JanSport.
Got a purple JanSport. Lastly, Lieutenant Mitch Anderson finds himself under fire for the deterioration of the Department of Defense's relationship with Superman. Well, yeah, Good. You're kind of the reason that the whole thing fell apart. Again, you're asking Superman to do things that are against Superman's creed.
So Chrissy will have her hat in her hand, and Mitch will have his hat in his hand, and they'll both be like, "We were wrong. You guys are the best."
That's the title of the episode. You were wrong. The actual episode is Tried and True, and then we also have the title for episode 7, which is to be airing on March 8th, and that is Anti-Hero or Anti-Hero. Anti-hero. So, and then by that point, we are more than halfway done with the season, which is hard to believe.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. Although I like it, I do love these 13, 14 episode seasons. I'm a big fan.
Yep, huge fan.
I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't like 22 episode seasons of anything anymore. Just like I don't like 3-hour movies.
It's too long.
I'm gonna die soon, and I don't want to spend all that time sitting in the theater waiting for 3 Spider-Men to show up. Okay.
You're in the 3rd hour of the Batman movie, and all of a sudden you realize, what did I do with my time?
I will be watching that one the same way I watched the Peacemaker finale, and that will be in my chair 45 days after release. I don't think I'm going to... I think I'll stay home and watch that one the way it was meant to be seen in my living room. So...
Before we get out of here, we got to talk about those photos.
Okay, so if you are on the internet a lot, you might have noticed in recent days that...
Are you on the internet?
I try not to be as much as humanly possible, because I hate it. And it's hard not to have paparazzi photos when you're filming a scene in downtown Vancouver with a lot of extras and or onlookers. Mm-hmm. Such was the case this week when Tyler and Jordan, who plays Jonathan, just make sure we get that right for everybody, were filming a scene as Superman and Superboy. So if you remember, and we've talked a lot about the parallels with the death of Superman on this podcast and kind of what they've presented and set up with having both the Eradicator / Last Son of Krypton in Tal-Rho, i.e. Morgan Edge. We've had Steel now with John Henry Irons. We have had at least one son present powers. Jordan, obviously. And now Jonathan, with getting his XK on, is having his own kind of brush with the super world. So there's a lot, and then obviously the whole Doomsday aesthetic from the first couple episodes of this season. So there's been a lot of that. Now, if you'll remember if you'll remember Death of Superman, you remember '90s Superboy, leather jacket, Superboy. That's kind of the look they're going for in these pictures, which has Jordan Elsas dressed. His hair is up, kind of a darker like makeup look going on. He's got a black shirt with the red crest, as per most iterations of Superboy from those 90s forward, whether it be Superboy Prime or if you're familiar with Superboy on Titans on HBO Max, or just from the Death of Superman. So yeah, they're doing something. I don't know. They in these scenes that every shot I saw, they were not actually filming. It was all while they were cut. So they were, laughing. There's pictures of Tyler like petting a dog, like somebody walks by with their dog and Tyler's petting the dog. So none of it is in action, so we can't really discern what's happening. But I point you to one thing I noticed. And I've not looked at Reddit or anywhere else, but I did notice that Tyler's cape is tattered.
Yes.
Could this be Bizarro Earth?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it just seemed like really extreme to have Jonathan suddenly be like, yeah, I'm throwing on a leather jacket, put a little eyeliner on, get the hairdo going. Not really covering up my identity at all. Yeah,
it's a totally different look for him that I don't think he's just going to develop from doing drugs over a few episodes. This isn't an 80s sitcom. Yeah. We didn't go full Mike Seaver here all of a sudden. He's not living above the garage or anything. So I don't know, but I saw the cape tattered. Obviously the crest, both Tyler's crest and Jordan's crest, or Superman and Superboy's crest, are normal. Yeah, neither of them seem to be wearing any kind of mocap, anything, so I don't know if that changes the appearance. But if on their Earth things are normal and they become Bizarro versions when they come over to Earth Prime, I don't know how that works in this new iteration they've kind of created of the Bizarro verse for the show. But I instantly thought, wow, that's a really huge jump for a character to go through in 10 episodes, maybe, if that. 9 episodes. No, less than that, because we're already coming up on 5. So 7 episodes. So that was my first thought, was maybe we're dealing this is Bizarro Superman, and Bizarro Superman's son is Superboy. It also looks very I guess maybe not to that point, if I wanted to pro and con this and go, this is our Jonathan Kent. The S kind of looks spray painted on the shirt a little bit, so
right. But isn't that his look in the comics?
Not really. I mean, the back, the back leather jacket kind of does have that aesthetic. But most instances it's just that red crest, and this it's kind of like a bulbous head on the S, and it looks spray painted on. So I don't know. Maybe that is something Jonathan did on his own, and Clark's getting his ass beat, and Jonathan's like, I'm gonna go take some XK and disguise myself and help him. Now, why he went with that disguise, I don't know, but
that makes zero sense to me.
Yeah,
unless that's Lois's leather jacket he's wearing.
But we're way far off. The thing is that yes, we've seen these images because it's hard to keep something like that under wraps when there's paparazzi involved and when there's onlookers and extras involved as well. But they're filming so far down the line right now. It's hard to even speculate because we don't know what's happening in between at all.
I gotta say, since Jordan's obviously like our fourth co-host, is he a fifth after Tucker? I don't. I'm just really happy for him. I'm really happy that whatever is going on, he gets to play a little bit with superpowers.
Oh yeah,
this season,
yeah. He's getting to he's getting some really decent screen time.
Yeah.
And that's made me extremely happy. And I think he was, he kind of, I'm not going to say he told us, but he alluded to some things in person, and that gives him the spotlight and some time to shine. And I think he was done a disservice in season 1. Now I'll play devil's advocate and say there was a lot going on in season 1 that it wasn't always.
Yeah.
I think he got his due, but I think he was discounted a lot on things that Jordan got that he didn't get. Like I said, Jordan got to go to the fortress. He got to meet his paternal grandfather, who is now dead. Seeming, the crystal being destroyed, so he didn't even get to meet him. So there's no going back on that. And there's no seeing Jor-El at this point. Now Jordan has seen Laura at Talrose Fortress and met her. Been introduced to both of his grandparents, and Jordan hadn't gotten that same due. So,
or Jonathan.
Jonathan, really confused. I think Jordan's just going to have to change his name.
Even writing my notes, I was I'd write the wrong name down constantly.
What's funny is I didn't really have a problem with it in season 1, and then after talking to him now a few times, it's like now it's a little harder for me.
Right.
Anyway, interested to see what unfolds. I'm sure we will have one, if not more, hiatuses before the end. But thankfully for now, we are back next week and can get back on a regular schedule with discussing and putting out episodes for you guys.
Up and away.
All right. Anything else? What about you, Frank? Anything?
Well, I just think.
All right, good night, Frank.
You had your time.
You had an hour out here, and you did nothing with it. That's on you. All right, Robin. Thank you, and we will.
Derek, thank you.
No, Robin, thank you, and we'll see you guys next time.